Hey guys, it's Mason again, back with another episode of what I think we're going to continue to call Any Questions, kind of like a series that we're doing that's completely exclusive to YouTube, where you're seeing it here, where I answer questions that have been asked to me either directly via like Discord or on stream, or I pull them from questions that get asked to me on social media or in the YouTube comments. And the questions can be in regards to streaming and content creation directly, or just about me and my personal life. And if it's something that I think maybe my answer to, or at least something I've learned could benefit someone else in either regard, we're going to bring it up here and kind of talk to you one-on-one about it. Again, if you didn't watch the first episode, go check it out. I dive a little bit more into explaining kind of what this is, but basically it's me and you awkwardly staring at each other while I address one of these questions. And it's just something I'm really excited to do. This just chatting portion of what I've been doing recently has been my favorite thing. I think it's a good way for me to test myself as far as conversation goes and being able to just focus on one thing at a time, which if you know me, you know I'm bad about, and you'll probably see that in this video. Today's episode is going to be about what my family thinks of what I do for a living. Now, while I can't obviously speak for them directly, and I don't want to put words in their mouth, I can tell you that myself and my family are very close, be it my father and my siblings. We're very close and we're very real with each other. There's not a lot of BS in our family, and there never was in our household. We're very upfront with each other, very real with each other. So, you know, what's funny is I wrote down notes for this, and like kind of, and then I just stopped because I knew this was going to be all over the place, but I wanted to give myself kind of pointers to go through. So I was streaming for a long time before they had any idea. I mean, obviously we were always gamers growing up, myself, my brothers, my family, but I was long moved out of my parents' house and living on my own when I started streaming, and no one knew about it for a long time, probably over a year. I don't have the exact timeline, but no one knew about it for a long time. And when I say over a year, I'm talking over a year of 0 viewers, you know, 0 to 2 viewers, 2 of which being probably myself and my girlfriend. So yeah, there was a long time where no one knew about it. And what my schedule looked like was basically every day, wake up, go to work, come home from work, stream, and try to squeeze in real life time in there as well, while also pursuing this. And I think that actually is foreshadowing to a topic we're going to do in the future about finding a balance between content creation and real life, but we're not going to dive into that here. But yeah, so a little over a year went by. They had no idea that I was doing this because obviously nobody was watching it at the time. I was still kind of feeling it out and learning about the whole process and how this whole insane thing works. And even if, you know, I wasn't even sure at the time if it was something I was going to pursue, so why bring it up? Basically what it became was, to be honest with you, I don't even know how they found out. Maybe it accidentally came up in passing, and it was, I say accidentally, it was never something that I was hiding. It was more of just a conversation I didn't want to have at the time, because streaming and content creation is a lot harder to justify and explain, you know, when it's such a big chunk of your time, but you're not making any money from it, and I don't know, and not that they would have cared. It's just my own stupid mental thing. I didn't feel like I had a way to justify it at the time. Long story short, it becomes, you know, a little bit more than a hobby. I start making a decent side income from it. They already know about it at the time. They don't really know what it is. They don't ask a lot of questions. They figure it's probably just something stupid he's doing on the side. Let's talk about when I began the process of going full time in streaming. I mean, let's just jump to that, because I think that was the biggest point of realization for both me and my family in regards to what I did. And again, they've always been supportive, and they always would be. You know, it was never an environment in my house where we were ever encouraged not to do anything, as long as we weren't hurting anyone or ourselves. We're always about chasing pursuits and testing ourselves and challenges, right? So when we got closer and closer to the possibility of this thing being, I mean, what it is now, amazingly, my full-time job, I got really nervous, because I knew at one point I was going to call my dad up and have this talk with him, even though he would be nothing but supportive, which he was, and we'll talk about that. But I go full time on Twitch, which is maybe something we'll dive more into in another video later in the future. I remember calling my dad I think the day before I did the announcement stream for it, and just kind of told him, hey, like, you know that weird podcasty thing I do? And he calls it a simulcast, which is hilarious because I don't even know what that means. But so I was like, you know that weird thing that I do? Yeah, like it could be my job probably pretty soon. And the conversation probably went something like this. hey dad, you know that thing I do that could be my job soon? And he's like, how soon? And I'm like, tomorrow. And that's probably how it went. I don't remember the exact words. However, I do know and remember very well that he was nothing but supportive and has been nothing but supportive since, even if he doesn't fully understand what it is, and neither do I. Obviously, I have a lot of so if you don't know, I'm one of 7 siblings. There's a whole bunch of us, and all my siblings who are younger kind of, you know, they understand. My brothers all know what Twitch is and obviously what YouTube is and stuff like that, and they all freaking love what I do. And every time I see them, they've got some of this on, you know, and everyone's just so supportive, and I'm very fortunate to be in this situation where my family is so supportive. But I think it's still something to think about, you know, for any of you guys who are in this same pursuit. Just obviously I can't speak to everybody's family situation, but don't ever hide from it. Don't ever be afraid to talk about it, because you need to talk about it, you know, especially in the beginning of content creation. It's so difficult and it's so hard to stay motivated. So if you have siblings who are also gamers and understand what this is, someone you can lean on, do that, man. That's so important. That's so important. Let me take a look. So I go full time. What it becomes is, because once a week we have dinner at my father's house. We have family dinner where we all kind of get together and catch up on everything. And what it became was a lot of questions about what I do and how I make money doing it. And I'm also doing YouTube things and all this stuff. And it was what I was actually happy to answer these. I felt like I was educating them and kind of making them more confident in what I chose to do as a career in this. Because, you know, when you do something like this, and maybe some of you have experienced this, you know, you can have pushback, I guess, from friends and family, and it's not always from a bad place, man. A lot of times if they're like, maybe you shouldn't risk everything on just putting you playing pirate game on the internet. And that comes from a place of love. Your family is there. Your family and your friends are there to look out for you and to care for you, and they want the best for you, and they want you to be safe. And nobody gets into content creation because they want safety and normalcy and consistency, because it has none of that. You know, for 99% of us, it's horrifying every single day, but that's part of why you love it. And so that feedback is there. You know, even from there was concern. Are you good? Like, are you going to be able to pay your bills? And are you saving money? And insurance is a thing, and taxes, do you know you have to pay those, right? And it's just this thing. But you know, all the conversations were had. They found out very quickly that I was prepared, at least for the most part, in these areas of pursuing this full time. And I kind of knew what I was getting into. I had been researching it for a long time. Even if the actual act of going full time kind of crept up on us in the way that it did, it was obviously a dream of mine for a very long time, and has been incredible since. And long story short, man, they're all so supportive. Like I said, my brothers love it. Everyone, you know, it's just crazy. It's still, to this day, is crazy to me. But yeah, I'll never forget that conversation that I had with my dad very soon before going full time. It was weird. I was nervous. I literally felt nervous, which is hilarious because I moved out. I'm a full grown adult. Like I was nervous to tell him these things, and he literally said nothing but, hell yeah, just go for it. And yeah, like, as long as, because he knew that I would never put myself or my family in a situation where we weren't okay, right? So he knows I wouldn't have pursued this if there wasn't a contingency plan. And that's, and he's right. You know, we jumped right into it. Maybe not as secure as I should have been. However, we were secure and we were prepared. And he was extremely supportive, and to this day is still extremely supportive. I think probably what really honed it in, at least from my perspective, was when we did our charity stream for Extra Life, which is the chair you see that we got. So we got this chair, this DX Racer, this Extra Life themed DX Racer, for raising over $10,000. We actually hit over 12 grand raised for Extra Life for Phoenix Children's Hospital. Nicolas Cage pillow not included. That was that was something else. That's a present. Shout out Hitbo TC. So when that charity stream happened, I think there was a huge realization. And again, I can't speak for them, but I know, at least for me personally, when I talk to people about what I do now, not that there was ever shame, but there's always like, here we go, now I gotta explain it. So sometimes I would tell people like, well, I edit videos, or I do freelance this or whatever, just to kind of avoid that conversation of, you play video games for money? Now it's like, yeah, I do. Look at that. Like, ever since that charity stream thing, everything just felt different. Everything felt so different. That was such an eye-opening moment for me. And I think, you know, I've had conversations with family members and it was really eye-opening for them too, man. It was surprising for everybody. That was an insane day and will forever go down as one of the greatest moments and greatest accomplishments of my entire life, man. And it's really not even close. You know, some of the greatest things that I've done have been done on this platform, and I hope we continue to do. Look, as you know, I digress. The topic of this was, what does my family think of what I chose to do for a living? And while I can't speak for them directly, they've been nothing but supportive and amazing, and we're a very honest family with each other, and everyone's just been awesome. And for any of you guys who have already tried to pursue, you know, a career in content creation, or at least make it a little bit more than a hobby in the world of streaming or content creation, I hope you can say the same. And if you can't, I understand that too. And if there's someone in your life, whether it be a family member or friend, who is maybe not only not supportive about what you're pursuing, but maybe more pushback than you would hope, and maybe in a negative connotation as well, try to explain to them what you're doing. Try to explain to them where your passion lies and that you're prepared and you're knowledgeable, and you should be prepared and knowledgeable about these things. Okay, so I also wanted to add a little bonus question that I got the other day on stream that I thought was really worth talking about. We talked about it a bit when we were live, but I thought maybe it would be a good addition to this series that we're doing on YouTube as well. So we'll consider it a bonus question. And the question was, what am I most excited for in regards to my channel and in this brand and this community in 2021? And the answer is, I have no freaking clue, but I know there's going to be a lot. You know, I mean, this right here, what you're seeing, this is never something I've done before. And it's something I'm still nervous about doing, and I'm excited about doing. And I think that's a good sign. We're going to have so much more stuff like this coming this year on top of gameplay. Like, obviously we're gaming all the time over on Twitch. I'm absolutely addicted to Apex Legends, which I've talked about, but this just chatting / podcasty type stuff that we've been doing is again my favorite thing to do, and we have a lot more stuff like this coming. So right now we're doing 7 videos a week. We just moved to a video every day of the week. It's probably going to be 4 days of gameplay regardless of what the game is, and 3 days of just chatting segments when we're live in the morning on Twitch, or these any questions segments as well. So what I'm most excited about in 2021 is to see what changes come to the channel. You know, there are things that are going to happen in 2021 that not only do you not know about, I don't even know about them yet because I haven't thought of them yet. You know, this here came from just a lot of brainstorming, and someone had brought it up one time about a podcast and kind of a one-on-one thing, and it all just came to be that way, and eventually we just pulled the trigger on it. But what I'm most excited about is seeing what kind of content I can put out that you guys enjoy, because at the end of the day, that's all I care about. That's my job here. You know, that's what I'm here to do, is to try to find something that I'm okay at doing that you guys enjoy watching or listening to or consuming in some kind of way. And then if you do, we can build on that and we can go from there and then expand on those ideas and see what it turns into, because that's all this is, right? Is taking ideas and seeing what it turns into. All right, guys, and this has been another episode of Any Questions. I just want to say thank you again for allowing me to do this ridiculous thing that I do every day for a living, and for going on this adventure with me. This series is going to go on for as long as you want it to. If this is something you enjoy, if you're not too uncomfortable with the camera being right in front of me and you want to see more of this, please tell me, whether you bring it up in the Twitch chat or comment below the YouTube video, which you should do, and also leave a thumbs up if this is something you enjoy. If not, let me know. But if it is, and you have another question or a topic or something you would like me to speak on, discuss, or cover, just let me know below in the comments, and I will do so, man. I have a whole notepad going of different questions and topics that have been brought up to me, so we can continue to do this for a while if you guys enjoy it. As always, man, much love to all of you. Keep doing what you do. Stay busy, stay healthy, stay amazing, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.